I think this is the question. It is not. Yeah. Okay. So it is being recorded. If you want to go through it again, you can go through it later. Okay. So this one, first one is fill in the blanks. So you were supposed to conjugate the verbs, and you don't need to use the verb again. That is what is written here. Choose the correct regular verb and fill in the blanks with its correct form by using it once. Okay. So the answer which could be there, which I'm going to write, or the verb which I'm going to use for a particular sentence, could be used in other, or could be used with other sentences also. But you have to decide which one you want to choose so that it is not repeated or it is not required in other sentences. Okay, so that is the important part. So Manuel y yo. So for that, I think I should be using um, let's say leemos. Okay, leemos libros en español. Okay, then Francisco y tú siempre comen muchas manzanas. Tus estudiantes no comprender can be used. Okay, it will be comprenden. Okay, la lección de español, because tus estudiantes is third person plural. Okay, las chicas beben, okay, limonada por la tarde. Vuestros amigos, okay, venden nuestros discos de música. Miguel y ella escriben muchas cartas, okay, a su amiga. María y yo vivimos, okay, vivimos en la Ciudad de México. El profesor y los estudiantes reciben buenas noticias. Tú subes, okay, las montañas cada semana. El chico abre la ventana. So this is how, if you are using the verb, then there will not be any repetition and the meaning is coming out correctly. Okay. Some of you are writing or have used some other verb here. Okay. In this particular sentence, I'm just telling you. The problem is, if you use some other verb, no, then the meaning is not coming out correctly with this part of the sentence, which is a su amiga. It is to her or his or to their friend. Okay, so escribir is the only verb which will fit here. Otherwise, I don't think anything else could be fitting here. Okay. Some of you have used recibir verb, so which is not at all going to fit in this sentence grammatically, if we talk about. So the second set is also having almost the same means pattern, so you can choose it accordingly. So lame, common, I mean pattern in the sense the selection of the verbs, but the conjugation could be different. Todas las chicas beben, venden, escribe, vive, reciben, sube, and then abre. Okay, this is how you do it. In the second question, actually, some of you have done it incorrectly. Okay, the series in which the objects are written, you have to make sentence in the same series. You cannot change the place here to here. Okay, or means like giving this in the later and then starting with the last one. No, you have to follow the same pattern and then construct the sentence. There was a reason why I have given you like this, because when you are framing sentences for these, then you will be going to use different types of prepositional phrases. So that was the whole idea behind giving you in this pattern. So if you are changing the pattern, means like if you are putting el sofa in the beginning and la alfombra at the end in the sentence, I may not have considered it correct completely. Okay, so that is something you have to be careful about. So la alfombra, so alfombra is the carpet. Okay, so you can use la alfombra esta. Okay, in the big twin you can put here esta dentro del sofá. It will be okay, del sofa, because here de is the preposition and el is the article. You join it together to make it del. Okay, so this could be one of the prepositional phrase which could be used. Apart from that, if you have used some other which makes sense, I have considered that. Okay, next one is el sillón and la ventana. So la ventana is here. Okay, sillón is this one. Okay, this small sofa, single seater. So that could be like el sillón está lejos de la ventana, which is basically far from. You can use some other preposition here also. You can use delante de or enfrente de. Okay, which is just like opposite to the window. This sillon is kept. Okay, so I have considered on any of these three prepositional phrases. Next one, las cortinas. So here also, las cortinas están, okay, al lado de la ventana. So al lado de is one which you can use here. Some of you have used a la izquierda and then you have used a la derecha also. I mean, I'm just giving you the prepositional phrase which some of you have used, not the complete sentence. So I have considered that also. Okay, so that's not a problem. But if you are using some other, maybe I have not considered that. Or you could use sobre also. Okay, sobre is on the window, so that is fine. The next one is la computadora and escritorio. So this is quite evident that there is not going to be any other prepositional phrase apart from sobre, or you can use en, or you can use encima de. Okay, so either of these three you can use in this sentence. Next one, el sillón and el sofa. Okay, so same here also. I'm talking about this one with this one. So you can say that it is delante de. That is the most apt one. If you have something else which is making sense, I have considered that. Then el escritorio. So escritorio is the one where the computer is kept. Okay, this one I'm talking about. So this one is, and sala is the room. So where is it? It is to the right. To a la derecha de. Okay, and then it will be la sala. Okay, so el escritorio está, okay, a la derecha de la sala. Similarly, las cortinas, you have to use están here. This is also important to use correctly. El espejo, so this is The espejo I'm talking about, okay, because there is no other place where you see as espejo. Espejo is the mirror, okay, not the glass I'm talking about. It is the mirror. So it is basically to the right side of the window. So it will be esta a la derecha de la ventana. Okay. La lampara. So this is the lampara here. Okay. So and this is the sillon. So lampara is which side? This is to the left of the sillon. So it will be esta a la izquierda del sillon. Okay, del. Why? Because they and el article will be coming together, so it will become del. Then el sofa y la televisión. So this is the sofa and this is the television. So this is to the right of the sofa if you see. It will be esta a la derecha de la televisión. Okay. Then the last one, la lampara and la mesa. So this is the lampara, this is the mesa. Okay. So it will be esta, la lampara esta. I mean, you have to put la lampara in the beginning. Okay, la lampara esta sobre or encima de, or you can use en la mesa. That's it. Okay, so this is how you had to do it. The second set has the same question. Okay, the sequencing is changed, so you can just change the
Excuse me, sir.
prepositional phrases.
Sir,
Tell me.
even the other way around, like, is it right for the
No,
fat?
no, no. I
Okay,
told in
okay,
the very beginning right now, there is a reason why I have given this in this particular series, the objects, because you will be using those particular prepositional phrases. Otherwise, you can just use anything, and then how will I know that whether you know this preposition or not? So that
okay,
is
sir.
why this has been given in this way.
Hello, sir.
Second set is also in the same way you have to do. Okay, third question. You have to give answer to these questions. So it will be a qué hora esta fiesta. So you can directly start either with S or you can start la fiesta es a las 8:15 de la tarde. Okay, it is better to use de la tarde here because as I told, after 8 only we use de la noche. So the time here is still before 8 o'clock, so it is better to use de la tarde. Next one, ¿cuándo es tu cumpleaños este año? So now some of you are very smart. You just wrote the same thing in Spanish. Like Sunday you made it domingo and 31 and diciembre in the digit you have written. So that is going to give you 0 marks. Okay, even in the fat, if you will do the same thing, you will get 0. So cuando es tu cumpleaños? So it will start with mi cumpleaños. Okay, then it will be S, and there was a particular pattern to write these dates. Okay, so you have to follow that. S, el domingo, el 31 de diciembre. That's it. Okay, mi cumpleaños es el domingo, el 31 de diciembre. Some of you have put el domingo at the end. That also I have considered. Okay, after putting the date, you have put the day. That is el domingo, so that I have also considered. Number C, desde qué hora y hasta qué hora es el partido de IPL? So you had to give the answer in the same way. So for that, number C, it will be either you start with this subject. So either you can start simply with S or you can write this whole thing, that el partido de IPL, and then you have to write S. Okay, so either you start directly with S or you mention the subject El Partido de IPL S. Okay, and then it's a timing from this time to this time. So desde, okay, las 7:30 de la tarde, and then hasta, okay, hasta las 11 de la noche. Okay, so that's how you have to do this. Fine. So some of you have used some other preposition. You have used de instead of desde. So that is also considered de las 7:30 de la tarde. And then you don't need to use hasta when you are using de. Then you have to use a. Okay. So de la tarde a las 11 de la noche. So that can be another answer for this one. Number D, ¿a qué hora tenemos la clase mañana? So again you can start la clase es, okay, a las 4 menos cuarto de la tarde, and then at the end you can mention mañana. So this mañana is basically tomorrow. So don't get confused that why are we using tarde and then again mañana. There is a reason. Okay. Next one, this was number D. Number next, ¿a qué hora Carolina estudia? Okay. So you have to start again with Carolina estudia. Okay. Here you have to mention the subject Carolina estudia. A las, okay, 7:15 de la mañana. Okay, so this is how you have to do it. Same way you have to do in the second set also. The numbers are changed. Okay, but this is how you have to do. Next one, the below grammatically incorrect sentences. So there are mistakes in each sentences, so you have to do it. So first of all, this is the mistake. So it will be estos primos. Trabajo will become trabajan. En una empresa. Then it will be a las 3 de la tarde, not tardes. Okay, so this much of mistakes were there. Next one, este compañía. So it will not be este, it should be esta. Okay, then exporto is incorrect, it should be exporta. Okay, because here the subject is third person singular. Exporto is first person singular. Exporta muchas productos. So this is the problem. It should not be muchas, it should be muchos productos a Colombia. Next one, aquella amigo. So it should be aquella amiga. Or the other way around, aquel amigo. That can also be used. Estudio will not be used. Estudia. Economía, todos. Now this is the problem. It should be todos los días en sus, no? It should be en su universidad. Okay. Sara es una persona muy activa. Okay. Number last, Silvia y Marcelo caminan. Okay, because the subject is third person plural. Cada días, no. Cada día, singular. Con mucho amigo, no. Con muchos amigos. You cannot make amigo singular here with mucho. You have to use the plural. So it will be con muchos amigos. Always. Okay, so these were the mistakes. The second set also had somewhat the same mistakes. Okay, so you can do the necessary changes accordingly in it. Fine, I hope now things are clear how to do it. So if you are asked similar question in your similar, I'm telling, not the exact question, similar question in your FAT exam, so just give your answer accordingly as per the you can say the
Yes, sir.
explanation which I have given. Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt in the first question G part that mi familia y su familia dash en la ciudad de Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I have written vivimos over there. Is it wrong, sir? Mi familia y su familia vivimos en la ciudad de
That is
Mexico.
wrong. That is wrong.
Sir, what could
Because
come here?
did you get the second set?
I think so. The sentence is not matching with either of the sets. Uh, it's written mi familia y su familia dash en la ciudad de Mexico.
No, so no problem. Still, I can tell you the vivimos is not going to be used. So it is mi familia. Okay. Y tu familia. Okay. So here the
Yes.
subject is basically third person plural, because my family and your family or his family or her family, it actually makes it a third person plural. It's like all together we are taking it, not in the first person. So that is why you have to choose the third person plural conjugation. It will be viven. Okay. Vivimos could be used if it was yo, just yo. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Means
Okay.
like mi familia y yo was there, then you could use vivimos. But here it is mi familia y su familia, so the answer will only be viven.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope all of you got this. Now, mm, so let us get back to the previous class topic which we were discussing. That was basically the reflexive verb. So we will come back to the next part of that. So I think even the translation part, I don't think it is much important right now. All of you can do that. Just one thing I wanted to know. Uh, did I teach you present continuous before the cat? Confirm. Yeah, people, I'm asking you all. Can anybody confirm me?
So which topic?
Present
Yes, sir, you
continuous.
taught us present continuous.
Yes, you taught us.
And we can look into some other topic. Okay, in this time. Fine. So let us start today with a new topic, which is uh, reflexive. Sorry, irregular verb. Okay. Hmm. So we are going to today see irregular verbs. So the terminology itself makes things a little bit maybe clear to you. We have done regular verbs. Okay. So when we did regular verbs, then we saw how a pattern is being followed. Okay. Pattern is being followed with the regular verb. I mean to say there was an AR ending verb, there was an ER, and then there was IR ending verb. And they were all following a particular pattern. Isn't it? Like AR ending O, it was changing to O, as, A. Okay. Amos, eyes, and an. So this was the pattern for AR. Then similarly for ER, and there was a pattern for the IR ending verb. But today, when we are going to talk about irregular verbs, then again, with this name itself, it makes sense that it will not follow a pattern. Not following the pattern. Okay. The pattern means the one which has been already shown to you with the regular verb. So then how will you use them? How will you find out which means which way to use those irregular verbs? So if you go back to the three verbs which we have done, okay, the three verbs which we have done, pair verb, the star verb, and tener verb. If you go back to these three, then you will be able to actually associate this with the irregular verbs. Like if you go through the conjugation of the verbs ser, estar, and tener, then these three verbs conjugation actually were not following the pattern which we have discussed with the regular verb, isn't it? Like the verb ser, when we conjugated, being an ER ending verb, its conjugation was completely different, isn't it? Like it started with soy, then it was eres, then s, then it is somos, sois, and son. So this was the pattern. Means pattern in the sense that this is how the verb ser was conjugated. Means it did not follow that pattern of ER ending verb, which was O, S, A, amos, A's, and N. So that is something which has not happened with the verb ser. Similarly with estar also, if you remember, then it was starting with estoy, then it was it was followed with estas, esta, estamos, estáis, and están. So this is how the conjugation of estar happened. Well, with the verb estar, only this particular, you can say, verb form is completely different from that AR conjugation. Otherwise, the other five which are there, that is actually somewhat similar to the pattern of an AR ending. But still, the first one is completely different. It is also put under the irregular verbs. Then you have the third one, which is tener, which we have already done. So if you remember that, then the first form of tener was tengo. No? So being an ER ending verb, this again is not following ER conjugation, I mean a regular verb pattern. If it would have followed, it should have been teno, isn't it? Like you remove ER and then you add O, so it should have been teno. But it is not happening. It has become tengo. Similarly, it was TNS, which is again different from the normal pattern. Okay. Then it was TNA, tenemos, tenéis, and then TNA. So this is the conjugation of the verb tener, which is also an example of irregular verb. Okay. So these are the three verbs which we have already seen, but these are not the only three verbs which are there in the irregular verb category. So there are few more verbs which are very important and you should be knowing them, and they are very frequently used for. So the next verb which I am going to show you is this verb. Means you could say IR, but it is not IR. There is a particular pronunciation for this. It is called ER verb. Okay. So what does ER means? ER means to go. Okay. So you go to a market, you go to school, you go to college, you go to shopping mall. So that particular go is used with this verb ER in Spanish. So how do you conjugate it? As I told, it is an irregular, so it will have its own pattern. Okay, not going to follow the pattern of a regular verb. So it will be starting with voy, okay, vas, va, vamos, vais, and van. Okay, so first person singular voy, so you can use yo voy, I go. But let's say I go to the market every day. So yo voy al mercado. So from where has this al come? So a preposition and el of the word mercado, which is the article, you just make it together. Okay, so it becomes al mercado cada dia. Okay, similarly, you have to use the particular conjugation with the particular subject. The other important thing is the use of this preposition a. Whenever you are going to use the er verb, it should be followed with the preposition a. Okay, because you go to some place always. So that too cannot be ignored here, and you should be using the preposition for that, which is a. Okay, then the next verb, which is irregular, is venir. Okay, which means to come. Okay, to go and then to come. So venir is somewhat similar to the tener verb, and it starts with vengo, vienes. Okay, then it will be viene. This. Okay. Viene, then you have venimos, okay, then venís, and then viene. And the same way you can make sentences with the same pattern: subject, verb, and then object. That will be the pattern here also. As we have done it earlier, same pattern will be followed here also. Then the next verb which I am going to show you is, just a second, let me find out. Okay, yeah. Next is decir. Okay, next is decir. So how do we use decir for? So decir is to say, okay, or to tell. So the conjugation is like this: digo, dices, dice, decimos, decís, and dicen. Okay, so this is the pattern which is being followed for decir. Then after that, next verb which we can discuss is the verb is, okay. So hacer we have already used it earlier also. So hacer is to make, or hacer is to do. Okay. So the conjugation is like hago, haces, hace, hacemos, says, and asking. Now, the irregular verbs which I am showing you, in some cases you will find only one conjugation is different. Different in the sense completely different from the regular verb conjugation of that particular ending verb. But still we put them in the irregular verb category. Like for example, this aser. If you see all the 5 conjugations, apart from the first person singular, they are actually following the regular verb category pattern. But only the first one is completely different, which is ago. That is one of the reasons we put it in the irregular verb category. Okay, so you should not mix it up. So after aser, it is salir. Okay, so salir is to leave, and it is conjugated as salgo, sales, sales, salimos, okay, salis, and then sale. So a completely different conjugation. Not all, but at least the first one is completely different. So we put it in the again irregular. Then next one is saber. Okay, all these verbs are important, and it is going to be used in your final exam also to know. So saber is to know, and again same thing is happening with this verb also. Only the first form is complete. Okay, say. Okay, but this say is different from the previous say, which we have seen in the reflexive verb, that reflexive pronoun. So how is it different? Here this e has an accent. Okay, this say is without accent, which is basically oneself. Okay, himself, herself, okay, and themselves. All of these it refers to. So this is without accent, this is with accent. So this is how you have to keep it in mind. Other conjugations are same, like a normal verb. So sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabeis, and sabe. Okay, so this is how we do the saber conjugation. Apart from that, I should give you more list because then it will be a little bit difficult to remember. Yeah, one last I will give you. So basically 2 I have to give you. The 2 which I'm going to give you is, first one is dar and the second one is where. So dar is to give. So again it's a very important verb which is frequently used, and where is to see. If you see the conjugation of both of them, again only the first one is completely different. So it is doi, das, da, damos, dais, and dan. Okay, and that's it. So only with the first form things are changing. With others, sorry, where is it? Where did I write that? Did I write it in some other place? Did I write dar here or some other? Oh, sorry, I wrote it in some other. So this dar will be written here. It will start with doi, das, da, damos. Sorry, this is without accent, and dan. And then the last one is where, which is to see. Dar is to give. So where becomes AO. Okay. What is happening? I'm writing somewhere and it is visible to you all. Okay, what is visible to you all? I'm not, I'm getting a little bit confused here. Can anybody confirm me?
So we can
Sir, till
see
this year.
Desir.
Till Desir only you can see.
So few minutes ago we were able to see still Sabir when you explain the difference between say and see.
Uh-huh.
After that, nothing is visible.
Okay, actually several word files are open there, so that's why it is actually. Is it visible now?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, fine. Let me just show this to you. One second. So actually here there is a repetition. That's why it is happening here. So where is the last one which starts with veo, ves, ve, okay, and then it will be vemos, okay, veis, and ve. Okay, so this is the last one, and again only the first form is completely different from not completely different, but still you can see the accent is not used, and the form is actually er. Okay, so ideally you should have used as wo. Okay, but it has not been used as wo after removing er. It has used veo, so this e is being added, so that's why it is an irregular verb. So this is the list. Okay, so I will anyway share with you all. So for the time being, what you can do right now, okay, I'm just giving you this exercise which all of you can do quickly. So in this exercise, you have to fill in the blanks with the correct form of the irregular verb. So do this. So you have to conjugate these irregular verbs according to the subjects which are given. And as I have already discussed with you all, the conjugation, so you can do that immediately. So it is 45, 10 sentences are there. It should take 5 minutes. Don't write the whole sentence, you just write down the answer in your notebook. In the meantime, I'm just preparing your attendance. In the last class, I told you that we will have our quiz Most probably on 23rd of November. Actually, that date could be changed because not 23rd. I told I think on 24th. So that change the date could be changed because we will have a guest lecture. Okay. So I want to keep few questions in your quiz related to the guest lecture. So let me finalize the guest lecture day, and then accordingly I will keep your quiz after that. Okay. And for the Duolingo assignment, the date is already over. So now you just upload your profile page screenshot on the VTalk. Okay. The due date is still there, but at least complete it from your end. The due date to upload on VTalk is still there. As I told you, have to upload your profile page screenshot.
So profile, it does not show like the assignments section is empty now, so you just have to see that.
That's just a formality you have to do.
Okay, okay.
Like a proof or something you have to upload there, because I'm anyway going to give you marks from my dashboard on Duolingo, as I have shown
Okay,
earlier
sir.
also. Everybody's progress. So the reason why I'm asking you is because if you have done all the assignments and you have uploaded any file, then only I can give you 10 marks. If you're not uploading anything, I cannot give you 10. It has to be less than 10, because that's the criteria set by Dean Academics. It will not allow me to give you all 10. Okay, fine. So let us see this. It's very simple question. I hope all of you must have done it. So first one, it will be yo voy a España todos los años. Okay. Second one, a qué hora? Subject is tú. So it will be sales. Tú y Raquel. So this is basically second person plural subject. So this will be salir. Siempre a las 8. Okay, so siempre is always. Okay, next one is yo venir al cole andando. So yo vengo. Okay, al cole. So cole is the short form of colegio, which is a school. Okay, which it refers to. Andando is the present continuous form coming from andar, which is to walk. Okay, so I come to the college walking. Number 5, ellos, subject is ir, so it should be van. Okay, al mercado, it should be al, not a mercado. Number 6, it is Guillermo y yo. The same thing is here also going to be vamos. Subject is basically first person plural. Okay, then number 7, ellas. Okay, subject is ellas, verb is venir, so it will be vienen. Okay, esta tarde means today evening. Tú y Jesús, and then after that it's a question. Okay, so this is the subject basically, tú y Jesús, which is a second person plural subject. So venir will be vengo, vienes, and then it will be venís. Then next one again, a qué hora, ellos is the subject, verb is venir, so it will be vienen, ellos. And then the last one, yo nunca, nunca is never. So salir is the verb, you have to conjugate it with subject yo, so it will be salir. Tarde is not evening, tarde is late. We have done that also. Okay, so that's how you have to do. Let me now share the form link. Fill it up. Okay. So once you are done, you can leave also. If anybody has any question, you can ask me also right now. Otherwise, we will meet in the next class next Monday.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, regarding the assignment, sir, if there are any lessons left, can we complete it now, sir?
Yes, you can still do it, but that will be considered late. And for that, I will go deduct some marks also. But you should do it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
If you have missed any of the topics in the Duolingo assignment, you can still do it, complete it. It will be considered late submission, but it will not stop you from doing that assignment. So this is
Thank
for
you, sir.
everyone. Yeah, do it.
Sir, regarding the requiz one, sir, I asked you whether I can give it or not.
Amulya.
Yes, sir.
Well, I have asked those people, but only I think maybe one people has confirmed. I will drop a message in the MS team. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you please confirm the date of the request to like for the students?
Yeah, that's what I will confirm in the MS team chat. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir. Okay.
is there anything you have to do in the coming week, this weekend?
No, sir. No, sir. There's nothing.
So time will be fine, no? After
Yeah, yes, sir. Any time is fine, sir.
in the like evening, maybe after dinner at around
Yes, sir.
9.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I will let
No
you know.
problem. Okay, sir.
See you then. Thank you. Ciao.